What is going on, everybody? It's the Frauds, and we're here for a Monday Night Raw review for May the 3rd, 2021, as we are on our way to WrestleMania Backlash, which will be 2 weeks from yesterday. That's right, next week is the go-home show, and after tonight, we only have 3 matches. 2 triple threat matches, and the SmackDown Women's Championship. How did we get a second triple threat match? Well, we'll get to that when we get there, because Charbot 9000 got her way again. Good grief. And it's been 4 weeks. It's been a month. I think that's a good enough time to decide if somebody should be in the position, especially on commentary, if somebody should be in that position. And I think it's time that we just nip it in the bud. Adnan Virk sucks. Adnan Virk has no business being on this commentary team. Adnan Virk needs to go away. He is just like, and this is the sad part. When Corey Graves and Byron Saxton commentate and Adnan keeps his mouth shut, the show moves smoothly and fine. As soon as he opens his mouth, it just goes down. Just, no. Give it to this guy. So, AJ Styles and Omos opened the show. We have not seen them since WrestleMania. And tonight, we get a WrestleMania rematch, which you do know that it's by law in WWE that the next, between WrestleMania and the next pay-per-view, we're going to get WrestleMania rematches for damn near every single match that happened at the pay-per-view. So, they come out, they're all happy and everything. Omos does have his hands taped, so he's ready to fight. That match is coming up after this promo segment. AJ takes the mic and he says, for those fans foolish enough to not tune in to WrestleMania Saturday, you would have seen AJ Styles and Omos become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. He goes on about that being Omos' first match, where he wrecked the New Day and will likely wreck them again tonight. AJ has an important question for the fans now. Did you miss us? AJ says, of course you missed them. They are the champs. AJ says they've been partying and celebrating the title win off the coast of Florida in the Caribbean. It was awesome. They had much better things to do than throw tomatoes like the New Day. That was ridiculous. Which, yes, it was. AJ goes on about officially being the Grand Slam champion. Says he only took him 5 years, and that's pretty quick. Yeah, that's pretty quick for the modern day Grand Slam champion. I'm pretty sure Kurt Angle was a original Grand Slam champion in less time than that, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah. Where's that again? Let's see here. He says they're here for one reason and one reason only, and the New Day come out to interrupt him for the WrestleMania 37 rematch. Woods and Kofi speak about the stage, and on the stage, Kofi says he wasn't sure if AJ and Omos even still worked here, but congratulations on some awesome deserved time off. They continue mocking the champs about having no respect for the tag titles and the division. No, Vince McMahon has no respect for the tag titles or the division. Putting tag teams together on a whim, breaking every single tag team up. I'm really surprised the Viking Raiders made a return and didn't break up immediately, because Vince McMahon loves breaking up tag teams. It's just crap. Just nothing but crap when it comes to anything. I hate it. So, Kofi says the reason there were 11 tag team champions, and that's because every time they get knocked down, they pick themselves up, dust off, and get back into the ring to win the gold back. Every single time. Kofi says AJ can take shots and jabs in his career if he wants. He goes on about being a top singles champion because of the New Day's influences. Kofi says taking time off is not how the New Day rolls, bro. Omos has heard enough. He's heard enough from them morons, and it seems like he didn't knock enough sense into them at WrestleMania. But they won't be able to laugh or walk after he's done with them tonight. Tells them to come to the ring and get this work. Woods interrupts and goes on about how they are here to become the 12-time tag team champions. And that was that. So, we get this match. We go to commercial break. We come back, of course. We get the match. And the match starts off where AJ starts with Kofi, it looked like. And AJ tagged out. So Omos comes in. He's wrecking the New Day. He's beating the hell out of the New Day. And then when everything looked like it was going good for these two, AJ gets up and he's like, "Oh, high five me, man. High five." So they smack hands. Ref goes, "Tag." AJ's like, "No, man. No. That wasn't right." Yeah. So make AJ Styles look stupid while you're at it. But he gets in there so the New Day can finally get some heat on him, beat him up some, which, yeah, again, by the way, they're the babyface team. It's usually the other way around where AJ's beating up one member of the New Day and then the other member can come in. But since, Omos is who he is, you're not going to go and take this guy and do the hot tag that way. Anyway, so they're beating up on AJ. Kofi Kingston goes for a running splash to to go off the ropes for a dive to the outside, but Omos stops him. So he goes and jumps up the corner and goes for a trust fall and lands so awkwardly. I don't think that AJ Styles got into position well enough, and I think Kofi's going to feel that one in the morning. Omos eventually does tag back in after they tried to keep AJ away as long as they could. It failed. Omos beats the hell out of these guys, just pillar to post, not selling anything, which is smart. Big, phenomenal forearm off of the shoulders of Omos after AJ Styles tags in. It looked sloppy. It didn't look like he got the right arm or anything. But 1, 2, 3, and the tag team champions retain. So the New Day can go to the back and not be the tag team champions the rest of the year, and I think everyone would be fine with that. So we go to Charbot 9000 in the backstage with Sonya Deville. Sonya says she'll take Flair's concerns under consideration. Pierce walks in as Flair is walking out. He asks her what it was about. She says, "Nothing you need to concern yourself with." Pierce says we need to get one thing straight. He appreciates Deville having some input and everything, but she's been overstepping her boundaries as of late. More of that later. We see MVP and Bobby Lashley backstage waiting for Caleb Braxton. The announcers hype Braun Strowman's dominance in his match against Bobby Lashley later tonight. Oh yeah, by the way, the first thing we saw on this show, I totally forgot because it's like really stupid shit. We started the show off with Sonya Deville, MVP, and Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce was going to flip a coin to decide who faced off against Bobby Lashley. Drew came in, he said his piece. Strowman came in and said his piece. They flipped the coin. Strowman won. Whoop-de-doo. MVP and WWE Champion I'm sorry. Before we talk about that, there was rumor and innuendo last year. I think it was like September or October of last year. That one Eva Marie was returning to WWE. And it went from it's happening, she's going to make her debut soon, to gone, nothing. We didn't hear another thing about Eva Marie coming back. Like, I thought they were done, and I was like, thankfully, she's not coming back. And then we came to tonight. We get a video package. We see the camera starting on the floor, coming up slowly to this woman clad in black leather boots and black leather dress. We see pink hair. Then we get to the top, and it's Eva Marie, who says, "Do I have your attention now?" No, you don't have my attention. Do you know what the two biggest things that Eva Marie did in WWE her first time around? Forgetting to kick out of a pinfall in NXT that was so blatant that you could actually hear the crowd's reaction when the referee blatantly held his hand from hitting that 3 count instead of pinning her, and doing everything she could to get out of matches when she was supposed to face Becky Lynch. Oh, her top came off, so she had to hold her top in place. To tweaking her ankle and other stupid shit. The woman can't wrestle. But they had a vignette, and she said she's here to make offer ways for her to achieve her dreams, and this is an evolution. Good fucking grief. This woman sucks. She's always going to suck. She's not good. And now, the women's division just goes deeper and deeper in the toilet. And you know what's going to suck? When Charlotte Flair does win the championship back, which you know is coming. Instead of putting other people over, help building the division into the future, Charlotte Flair only thinks of herself. But yeah, Eva Marie's going to be taking up time. Who's going to be hurt? Not Charlotte. Charbot 9000 is not going to get hurt. Because she's Vince's favorite little daughter. He wishes was his. Anybody thinks otherwise, you are losing your mind. Charlotte Flair is going to be women's champion, probably either at the next pay-per-view or the one after that. It's coming. Absolutely is coming. But now you got this woman who can't fucking wrestle as well. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. This show just continues to get pathetic. They could have did so much more. But this is the best you're going to give us is Eva fucking Marie. You fired Mickie James for Eva Marie. Wow. But yep. Eva Marie's back. And no idea when she's starting again. I really don't care. MVP and champion Bobby Lashley are backstage with Caleb Braxton. MVP goes on about how Braun Strowman's luck has run out in the coin toss earlier, but said he should consider himself lucky or unlucky to even be in the ring with Lashley. MVP also praises how Strowman and Drew McIntyre, but Lashley interrupts and goes on about how he's not losing the title to either of them. They go on hyping the main event, and that was that. We see what happened last week with Elias, Jackson Maker, The Miz, and Morrison getting trashed by Tomatoes. Still an absolute embarrassment of not epic proportions, but just an embarrassment overall. Elias and Jackson Maker are backstage now would get some revenge on the New Day, who are being checked on by the doctor. They have their own tomatoes. So what are they going to do? They're going to throw tomatoes again. Just, what? They're going to throw tomatoes. So, the doctor locks away. They're going to throw tomatoes. They throw like 2, maybe 3. And then Elias stops Jackson Riker. We pan back. They didn't hit the New Day. No. Somehow, Randy Orton's got magic powers because he just appeared out of nowhere. What the fuck? Because Vince McMahon thinks this shit is funny. Oh, look at Randy. He's covered in tomatoes. This is such good shit. Who is this show for? Who is this? Who are they catering to? I don't even fucking know who's this shit's for. You can't tell me a 70-plus-year-old senile man thinks any of this shit is funny. I can't. Charbot 9000 comes into the ring for a match with Dana Brooke. Match lasts about maybe 3 minutes. Dana Brooke gets tapped out to the figure 8. Who gives a shit? Flair refused to let go of the hold. Rose comes in, decks her, then delivers a running knee, sending her to the outside of the ring. She checks on Brooke as Flair recovers. Sonya Deville is introduced next. She makes her way to the ring as Flair, Brooke, and Rose look on, and we go to commercial break. We get a vignette of Drew McIntyre, who'll be here for a sit-down interview later, which never came. I'm sorry, but a sit-down interview is not the same thing as walking up to Caleb Braxton and asking you about what you think about the main event or anything like that. That's just not how it goes. So, Charlotte Flair is in the ring. Sonya Deville says she's allowing Flair to make a proposal here tonight. Flair takes the mic, and she is upset that Rhea Ripley and Asuka are gonna have another singles title match at WrestleMania Backlash. How dare I be left out of the title match? She has the audacity to say that she put Rhea Ripley on the map. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, you had a shitty match at WrestleMania that you should not have won against Rhea Ripley last year. Took the NXT Women's Championship, made that division worse because you were a part of it, and then lost your championship to Io Shirai, but didn't take the pinfall. When did you put Rhea Ripley on the map? Were you in that match with her and Shayna Baszler that after she beat Shayna Baszler for the Women's Championship, she was in the ring with a bunch of fans celebrating her title win? Where were you there? Oh, that's right, you had nothing to do with that. You never put anybody on the map. Do I need to remind you that I ended Asuka's 200-plus 2-year winning streak? God, every time she opens her fucking mouth, it sounds like a robot. It literally sounds like a fucking robot. She's not happy. She says, you need to add me to the Women's Championship match. Do what's fair to Flair. I am Charbot 9000. Then, of course, what does Sonya Deville do? She does the predictable thing. And because the men have a triple threat match, the women need to have a triple threat match. You're sensing a pattern here with Charlotte Flair. She whines and complains that Rhea stole my women's title match at WrestleMania, so I deserve to be in this one. You've had, 3 matches. You lost to Asuka. You beat Mandy Rose. You beat Dana Brooke. Whoop-de-doo. Yet you should be in the title match. Why? This woman sucks. This woman fucking sucks. That's all there is to it. And the fact that they have the audacity to give her the championship title match is beyond me. Oh, and you know, absolutely, that Charlotte Flair if it's not a Backlash, if it's not a WrestleMania Backlash, which I don't know why we need to have it called WrestleMania Backlash, but whatever. You know, if Charlotte Flair doesn't win it at Backlash, she's winning it very soon. So, yeah. Rhea Ripley is going to be a transitional champion. Plain and simple. It's just what it is. Nothing you can do. Backstage with Caleb Braxton with Humberto Carrillo. We see what happened to the United States Champion Sheamus has done in the past 2 weeks. He says Sheamus has been bullying everyone just because he thinks he can. He knows how it feels to be bullied and won't let Sheamus disrespect him. He goes on about answering all of Sheamus' open challenges. When out of nowhere, Sheamus attacks him, destroys him, lays him out, and jokes that he won't be able to any condition to answer tonight's open challenge. But there's always next week. Laughs, walks off, and that is that. Tell me why I should care about Humberto Carrillo. When was the last time that you guys took him serious? The dude has been a loser. Yeah, he stood tall over Sheamus last week. He got his payback. And then he got his ass kicked this week. And then he'll deal with Sheamus later on tonight, too, a little bit. So, you're going to keep doing this. You're going to give him a title match at the pay-per-view. And then, what? Then what? Is he going to, what? Beat Sheamus? I don't know. No. He's going to go out there. He's going to get pinned. And he's going to go away like everybody knows he would be going. He's going to. Why should anyone care about Humberto Carrillo? May I ask? I really want to know. Why should anybody fucking care? They don't care. They could build this guy up for 3 weeks straight, get a bunch of standing tall over Sheamus. And then when he gets to the big match is probably the biggest match of his career in WWE, he gets beat. Every single fucking time. His best bet would be for him. He probably was sitting at home when Black Thursday came out this year on the 15th. A year to the day that all those talents got released last year. and not see his name be one of the ones released. And damn it, I'm still stuck here. Because I'm pretty sure he wants to go out and have banger matches with guys like an AJ Styles, guys like a Ricochet, guys like Roman Reigns on SmackDown. He wants to go out there and be somebody who gets used and just not doing anything. Okay, so we go from Charbot 9000 to Humberto Carrillo getting beat up as the loser he is to Clowns Are Us as John Morrison and The Miz come out. They cut some promo, really didn't even care. Before we got to that, Adam Pearce stops turning the film's back, and he's like, what the hell was that? Do I have to go someone in the higher ups because we are far past abuse of power? She asks if he needs any... she blames it on bad reception. She tried to send him a text message. He dismisses the idea of a text message and says they share an office together, which does make her look really stupid. Says she had to make an urgent decision and couldn't wait. She says Pearce is right and they should be making decisions together. They face off in the end segment. We go back to the ring and we have Miz and Morrison not happy with how the New Day and Damian Priest attacked them with tomatoes last week. Don't care. They bitch, they moan, they whine and complain, they act like fucking clowns. Out comes Damian Priest for a match with John Morrison. Now, John Morrison, Punisher Martinez versus Johnny Mundo probably would have been a hell of a match. John Morrison versus Damian Priest in NXT would have been a hell of a match. But here's the thing. John Morrison, for a little over a year, has been settled to being The Miz's tag team partner. And they have been treated like jokes. Clowns. People that we shouldn't even give a shit about. So yeah, it was a good match. Could it have been better? Possibly. But why should I care? And this is another thing. The whole reason that you had Damian Priest. Fun fact. I can name everybody that Damian Priest has faced on the main roster. Miz, Morrison, Jackson Ryker, Elias. That's it. Those are the 4 names that Damian Priest has had matches with since he's made his Raw debut. The only reason you had Damian Priest going up against the Miz and Morrison was to get Bad Bunny to WrestleMania. Okay, mission accomplished. Can we move on to somebody else? Can this guy move on to having matches with other people? Please. So you had yourself a good match here. Priest kicks Miz out, kicks out of 2 from a Spanish fly on the top rope, which was fucking fantastic. Morrison goes for Starship Pain. That doesn't work. Priest comes back with the bell clap, hits the light 1, 2, 3, and he gets the win. Move this guy on. There is nothing left to this feud. This feud right here is equated to it's just taking too long. You got the mission accomplished. You got Bad Bunny to WrestleMania. He won his match. Move Damian Priest on. This guy could be the guy walking out to answer the open challenge and cause hell with Sheamus and go for the United States Championship. But we still have to have him feuding with Miz and Morrison. This just tells me that they have no plans for Damian Priest past WrestleMania. They have no plans to do anything with this guy. So why should we as fans give a rat's ass about Damian Priest? Because he's been facing Miz and Morrison for the last, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months. And it just doesn't seem to end anywhere. Adam Pearce is backstage with Mansoor. He signed the contract. Pearce officially welcomes them to Monday Night Raw. Sheamus walks in and talks about what happened to Humberto earlier. He talks a few shots at Mansoor, who informs him that he is now a Raw brand member. Sheamus mentions Mansoor and possibly challenging him for the title tonight, but taking a bro kick to the fans so the fans can get to know him. He taunts him some more and walks off. Mansoor talks to Pearce and says some things haven't changed here, but he didn't expect it to happen so quick. Pearce tells him to get used to it. So, you remember Mansoor, who the guy who only is in the position he's in because of Saudi Arabia. The guy that every time he goes to, we go to a Saudi Arabian event, he wins whatever match he is in. Oh, you've seen him on 205 Live. Who watches 205 Live? Now, I am not going to sit there and try and say this guy's not good. I don't know. I've only seen him in like 3 matches. Well, I've only seen I only watched the Greatest Royal Rumble. I didn't watch any of the other Saudi shows. It just didn't feel right after that first one. But yeah, he's won he's won all the matches, and he's been built to look strong. Now, the positive thing for Mansoor is that WWE pretty much can't fuck this guy up, because if they bury him, the Saudi Prince is going to give Vince McMahon a strongly worded letter of unhappiness. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to get buried because of that right now. But as long as WWE still has a contract with the Saudi Sports Authority to go to Saudi Arabia, which they can't do right now because of the whole COVID bullshit. But, yeah, Mansoor could possibly be in tune for a decent run on the main roster. WWE Championship run? Probably not. But getting somewhere. Definitely getting somewhere. MVP is backstage with Cradle Baxton for another interview. This is 3 times he's had the mic. He talks about Bobby Lashley taking care of Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre, and he announced tape Lashley versus them for later on. So, we go to commercial break. We come back. What do we see? The Lucha House Party versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin mid-match. When did this match started? Why the fuck was this match happening? And what was the point of it? Well, the point of it was that Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander are no longer going to be pals. They lose to the Lucha House Party after the match. Cedric Alexander, with all the fire and all the passion in his voice, blames Shelton Benjamin. They were the tag team champions only a few months ago with the Hurt Business. But they're out, but they lost them. Then they get kicked out of the Hurt Business. No. He got kicked out of the Hurt Business, as in Shelton. And how many opportunities is Shelton Benjamin going to get that he's just going to let slip through his fingers? He doesn't have much left. How much of his career does he have left? The difference is Cedric says he's in the prime of his career, and he refuses to give any more time to help Shelton, to keep Shelton's alive. Says, just like this team, just like you, this team is done. Drops the mic, motions the back, and Shelton looks on. And I'm like, see you in catering, Shelton Benjamin, and see you on main event, Cedric Alexander. Because that's where they're going. Here's the thing. What's the point of me caring about the breakup? You just had these two have a match that started during the commercial break. So why should I care about the breakup? Why should I care about the breakup with these two when you just showed me that, yeah, it didn't fucking matter? Why would it matter? Why does it matter that you broke this team up? Now, first off, yes, they were a hell of a team. They were a hell of a team that had the tag team titles, and would have been great to see them hold them for a lot longer. But of course, they took the titles off of them to give them to Omos and AJ Styles via the New Day. You weren't gonna have the Raw. You weren't gonna have the tag team. You weren't gonna have the Raw tag team champions be tag team championship match at WrestleMania be heel versus heel. I would have been better off if you would have did a triple threat match, but they wanted to give Omos his first day in the sun. So yeah, that's what you get. You get AJ Styles, you get Cedric and them breaking up after they threw away the Hurt Business for no goddamn reason other than for the hell of it. Angel Garza is backstage with a rose. Drew Gulak yells and stops him. Gulak taunts Garza for being a ladies' man who can't even score. The motherfucker is married. He challenges him to a match and mentions that he'll be him smelling roses when he wins. Garza says Gulak will smell the roses either way because he'll beat him, then shove the rose up Gulak's ass. Yeah. You can tell that this match was approved. Kayla catches up with Shelton backstage. Shelton says, "You know why I've survived so much? Because I can take the hits. You don't know this, but the only reason Cedric Alexander was in the Hurt Business is because I saw something in him. Conveniently. Not MVP, not Bobby, but I did." So, he doesn't want to be team with me. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to take the hits with me. Then that's fine. Because he'll fizzle out while I'll still keep going. Angel Garza versus Drew Gulak. Should I really care about this match? Should you really care about this match? No. This match has no meaning, simply because of the fact that, where have these two been? Now, with Daniel Bryan being banished from SmackDown, I had this idea. Last year, from time, I think by the time the Royal Rumble came around to around the draft, Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak had this, buddy-buddy relationship. It was teacher and student. And that, honestly, I felt like had more legs to stand on and more legs to run with, but WWE just gave up on it. They didn't want to do it anymore. Sent Drew Gulak to Raw, where he has been floundering. Maybe, just maybe, next year, or not next year, maybe, just maybe, we could see those guys reunite and we could have that chemistry again. And honestly, if Daniel Bryan wants to take time off of being a full-time wrestler, be in a tag team. Be a guy who spends the rest of the year, the rest of your contract, unless you sign a new part-time deal, in a tag team, because it takes less time off of you. It takes more stress off your body because you don't have to rely just on yourself. Maybe, just maybe. Garza wins, takes a rose, puts it in the backside of Drew Gulak's pants, tights, and then does a running punt kick to him. And I'm sitting here like, this is the only reason this match got approved. Because Vince McMahon could sit in the back and laugh at one grown man kicking another grown man in the ass while a rose sits on the man's ass in his pants. RK Bros versus Elias and Jackson Ryker. This match happened because of the tomato throwing incident from earlier in the show. RK Bros win. Jackson Ryker and Elias. Randy Orton started this match off hot because, you know what? I would be pissed too. I'd be in his position wanting to beat the hell out of the guys who threw tomatoes at me. Of course, Matt Riddle tags in. He takes the heat for the majority of the match. See, you had two men's tag teams on this show. This one showed you how a team should go where the babyface takes the heat. Instead of, the heel like you had in AJ Styles and them. And yes, I said two tag team matches because the one with Cedric Alexander and them I really did not give a shit about. RK Bros win with the DDT into the floating bro. Jackson Ryker also eats an RKO by Randy Orton. And that is that. Kevin Braxton is backstage, Drew McIntyre. They said a sit-down interview. That's not a sit-down interview. He walked up to Kayla Braxton in just normal interview. But he doesn't care about the main event tonight as long as they beat the hell out of each other. Now, regarding Mason Tebow, he has more questions than answers. Why did they keep attacking him? Why did they lose their stupid masks and keep their stupid names? Who are they working for and more? He goes on and says, whatever it's meant to happen will happen to them. But it's more focused on winning the WWE title at Backlash. Strowman walks up and says, Strowman declares he's walking out of Backlash with the title. Drew says nobody. Maybe not, but for now, Strowman needs to leave. They stare each other down, and he walks off. Now, speaking of the Mason Tebow thing, it does beg the question. Drew McIntyre is probably not winning at Backlash for that matter alone. Maybe Mason Tibor screw Drew McIntyre, causing him to get pinned by a Bobby Lashley, and send him to the back of the line. I don't know. Open challenge, United States Champion Mansoor versus Sheamus. The title is not on the line, as Sheamus likes to remind people. Sheamus comes out. I love how people say U.S. title defense, but it wasn't a U.S. title defense. Listen to the man. So, Mansoor got a couple moves in here, but Sheamus dominated the majority of it. He's going for what hits white noise. He readies for the bro kick. Out of nowhere comes Humberto Carrillo, who kicks him out of nowhere for the DQ. Beats the hell out of him some, but gets into the ring, eats a bro kick. Mansoor eats a bro kick, and that was that. So, one of two things is going to happen. Either Sheamus is going to be facing Mansoor at Backlash, or he's going to be facing both of these guys. Do I see Sheamus losing the United States Championship to either one of these guys? Absolutely not. We get an Alexa Playground segment. She mentions how Lily likes to play hide and seek, and her favorite color is red, and they did something devilish that they won't conceal. They won't let us know yet. So, yeah. And then we get a women's tag team title match: Lana and Naomi versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Now, I didn't think it was going to be tonight, but it's got to be soon. Shayna Baszler is being wasted. She loses majority of the night. Like, when these women's tag team champions lose, Shayna's taking the pinfall. Every time. It's time to break this team up. Who beats them? I don't know. You know what I'd rather see? I'd rather see the metal of these championships ripped off the leather. The leather gets shredded, and the metal pieces melted down into some kind of fucking medallion or something. Because these championship belts mean nothing. Lana gets put in the chair for the catch. That was that. Sloppy finish. Don't really care. Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman. Two big beefy men beating the hell out of each other. Of course, spear. 1, 2, 3. And that is that. Who cares? It's two big boys going out there. They're beating the hell out of each other. Just something, Vince McMahon was having a fucking orgasm backstage watching. Pin, 1, 2, 3. And that was that. After the bell, Drew immediately levels him with a claymore. Waits in the corner and delivers a second claymore to Strowman as he gets up. Drew stands tall. Graves reveals that Pat and Pierce has just made Lashley versus McIntyre in a non-title match for next week's WrestleMania Backlash Go-Home show. And Raw goes off the air. Can this show not get any worse? Oh, that's right, Eva Marie's coming back. That's right, Eva Marie is back. And now this show is just going to take the biggest dump on the women's division. To think, they are going to try and push this woman. The woman who can't wrestle worth shit. If Becky Lynch could please come back and try and save this women's division, that'd be nice. No Daniel Bryan. Maybe Daniel Bryan shows up tomorrow. I have no idea. All I know is this show sucks. WWE is just terrible. SmackDown's fine. Blood and Guts on Wednesday. Cannot wait for that. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds of the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance and find me on Instagram at The France Club. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for AEW's Blood and Guts. A match we've been waiting for well over a year. But until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.